What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Broad Topics. I'm your host, Kim Congdon, here with my co-host,
Alex Scarlato. What's up, guys?
Yay! In the building, we've got my bitch, Emilee Smith.
Hey, guys.
Fuck yeah.
Emilee's popping in. She's hanging out. She's hanging out with us in the studio today. She's fucking doing some dope shit. She's from LA, and she's, you know, coming in to watch our show. She's a big Broad Topics fan. She won a raffle. And here she is, our biggest fan in the studio.
Fuck
today.
yeah. Thank you for being here today, Emily.
Oh, my God, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, shit. So fun. What's up, Alex?
Kimberly. How are you? I haven't seen you in days and days.
I'm good. I'm trying to think if anything crazy happened. Nothing crazy. Started a new job. That's pretty fucking sick.
That's fun.
Did I already talk about this last episode?
No.
I haven't. Yeah, I got a writing job, and that's cool, and I'm excited about that, and it's everything I ever dreamed of.
Is it?
Truly and really. Yeah, it really is.
It's really fun. You're excited?
It's my first job I've ever had, like real job, where it's like, oh, this is fun all fucking day.
That's nice. Yay. I feel that way here until shit hits the fan, but usually I feel
sometimes
that way
there's a
here.
nightmare here.
I usually feel that way here, yeah.
Sometimes I avoid this place like the fucking plague.
I don't blame you, me love.
Emily, you missed it last episode. Me and Lewis were in a fight, and he was doing a podcast in there, and I was doing one in here, and I keep looking at his dumb fucking face in the background doing a podcast with two chicks, and I just fucking lost it. And I was like, cut the show! Cut the show! And I went over, I was flicking them off in the mirror. Right?
I think you mean flipping them off.
Flicking them off.
Flicking?
Yeah, right?
It's almost like the difference between farted and tooted.
Flicking.
And flipping.
You flick. I think you flip somebody off, no?
You can flick them off.
Can you?
Yeah.
I've never
What's
heard of
being
that.
flicked?
I don't know.
Flip. Is it
Damn it, I wish
flip or flick?
I feel like clitoral stimulation with flicking. The word is
No,
what
you can
makes
flick
me,
someone off.
You flick somebody off, like.
Flicked me the bird. He flicked me the bird.
It's definitely flipped.
No, I've been saying flicked since.
we need to put a
like
poll
flick
up.
your finger, so
Is it
maybe it's
flicked?
Like you flick.
Do you flick or flip someone off?
Bobby Hutch, do you flick somebody off or do you flip them off? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you. I've heard both, but it's more like a flip you off.
But you've heard both.
I've heard flick you off, but
I've never
Because
heard
you
that.
flip a coin.
I
Do
didn't
you
mean-
flip your finger?
Right? I didn't mean to argue with you. I just never heard that before in my whole life.
Really?
I know what I know, and it is consistent and thorough.
Kim's
There's never been a mistake I've made in my life once. Not once have I made a mistake, and have not once I've regretted something I've done. Everything I do it on purpose. It's written in the stars.
If I could just have an ounce of what's going on in your mind, just imagine the confidence that rolls around in this bitch.
It's much worse in my head.
I'm
I am
amazed.
humble. Oh my God. You have no idea. I am. What I think I'm going to become is the fucking.
Can I tell you the attitude?
I can't say it out loud.
Can I talk about the attitude that Kim had with the person who forgot her teriyaki sauce 15 minutes ago? I mean, holy shit.
Don't care that they forgot my teriyaki. I care that they're lying and they're telling me there's teriyaki in it, and I'm staring at a dry rice bowl. That's crazy. And they're like, we put it in there. I go, okay. What color is your teriyaki?
Yeah, there was a whole back and forth about the
And he
color
wouldn't
of
tell
the
me what color the
teriyaki.
teriyaki. I go, because there's nothing brown in my bowl. There's no brown. It's white rice with tuna on top of it. I've got a dry bowl. No teriyaki. The point of getting food is for the fucking condiments.
Right. And then he said that the teriyaki isn't brown.
Yeah, he's like, the teriyaki isn't brown here. And I go, okay, cool. What color is your teriyaki? He's like, well, it's creamy.
No.
I go, what color is it? And he goes, it's light black.
He said
I
light
go, cool.
black.
Light black is brown.
He said light black. You really put him in a corner. You really backed that dude into a corner, Kim.
It makes me furious.
But did they get you the teriyaki?
They did, but by the time... Oh, but I'm eating a mango.
I was going to say she's mad all over again.
I'm about to stroke out. They did, but by the time they brought me the teriyaki, I realized that they didn't add spicy tuna to my shit. It was my second protein. So they only gave me one protein out of the 2 proteins I paid for it.
What was the other one?
And then they came to the wrong address to drop the teriyaki, so I had to chase them down the street for teriyaki when I'm already done with my dry bowl with a missing protein. So yeah, I'm pissed.
I get it.
I just paid close to $20 for one meal that was incomplete. That's insane. That is a lot of money on one meal. I don't care what anyone says.
No, that is true. You can't check the order like before you leave the restaurant. They have to do that for you.
Yeah. And you trust a restaurant to deliver to you in a much different way than like at a drive-through. Like I try never to leave the drive-through without having like kind of gone through my order twice. Sometimes, fuck it, I'll sit there all day.
I will sit in the drive-through for 35 damn minutes if that's how long it takes me to check my nuggets.
I will sit there all goddamn day. I don't care who's behind me.
They honk. They're like, "Bam!" I'm like, I'm counting my nuggets. Lay off my case.
Ooh, it's nice when you get the extra nugget in there.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you ever come through with that extra nugget or you order the fucking french fries, they threw a motherfucking onion ring in that bitch?
Yes.
Ooh. It's like that's like it's like hitting a lottery. It's like a Mickey D's lottery.
It's a little success in life.
It's really good.
It's like something, a small victory.
Small victory.
Here's to the small victories, everyone.
You know what I've noticed is a small victory in New York that happens often? Catching a train right when you need it.
I was thinking that.
Like running down as it's opening and getting in, and you didn't even have to wait 1 second for it.
Just to like slide in.
But it makes you nervous because that's the closest you could get to the worst case scenario, which is walking down the stairs with the train just moving away.
I hate that.
You know what I mean?
You know what's you know what's the worst?
That
is seeing people coming up and seeing the train, but other slow people are blocking you from getting onto the train, and you can't be like, "Move it, fat bitch!"
Like you're creating the path down there. Everybody else is just coming up, and you're like making your own way.
There have been times where I've been like, "Okay, the stairs work 2 ways," like.
I mean, that's what keeps me driving in the city. I mean, it's not that much more convenient to drive in terms of parking. I have a fucking gripe with New York City, by the way. Okay. Whew. Down the block from here, it was... oh, dear. Oh, dear me. Oh, you all right?
Sorry, I was coughing.
That's all right. I have a major gripe with New York City. I have to take it up with you. Down the block from here, it was 1 hour metered parking. Fine. It was annoying, but fine. I had to go out, pay my meter on the hour.
Okay.
It cost $3.75 an hour. I was doing it. I was dealing with it, right? So I drove up the other day, like about a week ago, and that motherfucking bitch, they put new signs up there. I was so stoked. I was real excited. 2 hour meter parking. So then now I'll only have to go outside every 2 hours. It just cuts the amount of time I go out like in half. It's amazing.
I feel like I'm going to be quizzed on this after. Okay, 2 hours, 1 hour.
Did she catch the A train?
Yeah, I know.
So I'm real excited about that, right? I go to pay for my 2 hours. It costs now, instead of $3.75 an hour, it costs $4 an hour. And if you're paying for 2 hours in a row, instead of costing $8, $4 an hour, costs motherfucking $10.75 just to save yourself from going out there after an hour to pay for it.
I'm paying $4 extra to not have to go out.
Yes.
For an extra hour.
For 1 extra hour.
I can't believe I got that math.
That's fucking bullshit.
I am pretty proud of you.
That is
she lost me at...
She nailed it. She got it.
She did.
You really
She did.
followed along. I'm proud of you. Did you take like Adderall today or something?
I feel like, you know what's been happening
You're
lately?
on mental high for sure.
Yeah, you know what's been happening lately? Well, first of all, anytime I'm around Emily, I like magically trip. She's like me or you together.
Right.
Or like me and Sarah together. There's like very few people in my life that is like every time I'm near them, I feel like I'm tripping a
It's
little.
like mental stimulation.
Yeah. You guys really release my serotonin.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Glad.
I'm glad.
There's nothing. I know you're expecting me to say something mean. That was it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You're
No,
welcome.
I feel that way about you too. I get weird every time you're on your way here. When the buzzer rings, I'm always like, "It's Kimberly," and everybody's like, "Shut up!" You're so weird.
It is that weirdness. It's like somebody matches your weirdness.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about a friend. You're like, you're a human I want to spend time with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Touch elbows with me.
That's our power move.
Oh, yes.
I
feel her.
We're getting powerful.
Anyways, isn't that some bullshit, though? New York
Yeah.
City's fucked up. That's fucked up. It's cost me a full extra hour's worth, almost, to park just to, like, not have to fucking run out in the freezing cold and stand there with my fucking card that it doesn't want to read the card the first 3 times I try. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm really not a complainer. That's like the first thing I've ever complained about, I feel, on our show. I could be wrong. I could be
I hope
totally
someone puts together a bunch of clips of you complaining about different shit.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
That's probably not true, but I feel like I'm not a complainer, but that fucking pissed me off.
So what's new?
What's new with me? Indeed. I don't know. I've been working a lot. I've just been working.
I've just been working my job, working so hard. Every night and day I'm clocked in and out. I come home, my man, he's like, let's have sex. I'm like, I'm so tired, let's do it during the day. Then during the day, I'm like, I'm gonna miss the train. I gotta go to work. Are we ever gonna fuck? Are we ever gonna fuck again? That's a song about being in a relationship and finally getting a job and never seeing each other.
Nailed it.
It's really good.
Fucking nailed it. Oh, shit.
What, you guys?
You've been in a singing mood today.
I like freestyle singing.
I don't think Emily's
Just
ever heard my
nothing.
impressions.
What?
I'm not gonna not lie, but for the 26th episode, I will do the same impressions I do every episode.
You know, this show is really just those impressions at this
Whoever
point.
listens to the show just is listening to the same episode over and over again through a different span of time. Do you agree, Alex?
I do. I don't disagree with that.
Which one should I give her?
I really liked, I don't know if you could revisit Goofy from last week, but I was pretty impressed with it.
Maximilian.
It's pretty good.
Max. I'm Goofy. They're
It
mocking me. I can
sickens
see it, you guys. I can see them mocking me, and I still do it like a fucking zoo animal. I still do it like a zoo animal.
I love it.
Because that one's just so raw.
All right, let me try one. I think I could do like a Daffy Duck.
Oh, shit.
That's good.
It was really good.
It was really good.
Yes, Emily just queefed into the mic to do that, but it was really quick how fast she took her pants off and just queefed on command.
Actually,
That's the real
super
talent.
impressive. Yeah. Yeah, no, that your Goofy impression is really fucking from the heart.
Yeah.
It's deep.
Yeah, it is. Should I give her?
Could you sing as Goofy? I wish I fucking we need a fucking
'Cause nobody else but you. It's just us two. We're stuck together.
Have you ever heard I think
That's a
there's-
real Goofy movie song.
There's a video on YouTube that somebody made of Goofy singing. I think it's "My Immortal" by Evanescence. It's really
Weird, we
really
were
good.
Just talking about
Weird.
Evanescence
We were
earlier.
just talking about it.
See, oh my god! Wait, Kim tells me that happens with you all the time.
All the
so
time.
that's
All the
great.
time. Like it's happened all day already.
Synchronicity, like, out the ass.
Yeah, there's a great fucking
That's
audio
so
track
weird that
of
we-
Goofy being like, "How can you see?
How can you see into my eyes like open doors? Breathe into me. I don't know words. I have become undone. Wake me up inside. Can't wake up inside. Call my name and save me from my dawn. Bid my blood to run before I come undone. Save me from the nothing I need. Yuck.
There you go. No need to watch it, folks. That was it. That was really good.
Yeah, that was really
That
good.
was really really good.
On the spot.
Kim, are you tired
applaud you.
after that?
She just put on a full concert.
I feel like you need a nap. Oh my god.
I'm exhausted.
That was so fucking good.
Do we have Crafty in here?
I'm chills. Chills.
Chills. Have you ever heard my Britney Spears?
No.
We did this last week.
I think I did it again.
Oddly similar to Goofy.
I think you're still doing Goofy,
I
actually.
think I did it again. I made you believe.
Oh, I'm stuck in Goofy.
You are.
Why?
I was practicing.
I think I did it again. I made you believe.
Okay, what about Shakira?
Your eyebrows.
I'm stuck in Goofy. I'll never not be Goofy again. You know what? This is fun though for the listeners. It's a new one. It's fresh. It is from last episode, but it's compared to what we've been doing, it's fresh.
You guys, it's fresh enough. We're just going to be Goofy for a little while.
Well, I guess this is really who I am now.
So we were talking earlier.
Alex keeps looking down at an empty notepad for notes. It's fucking the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen someone do. Every time they're silent, she looks down like there's some list there.
It's so sad. You guys, I wanted there to be a list here so badly, but I've been so busy.
It's really beautifully written. That
Thank
one
you.
line.
I have just
She has-
my title line.
It's just her title line is the name of our podcast. It's nothing creative. It's Broad Topics.
It says Broad Topics number 26, but it's been really. I
never
took my
write down the
time.
word number. It's hashtag.
Look at all the symmetry.
I
Beautiful.
took my time with the letters, and I really wanted the underlining to be straight.
I
and
wish you would have took
fucking-
your time with a
really
topic.
admiring.
fucking nailed it.
I wish you would have took your time with a damn topic.
I have no topics except I mean, we were talking about veganism because Emily is vegan.
Mm-hmm.
I am vegan.
So I think that is a very interesting thing to pick her brain about because I'm very far from vegan. I mean, I had McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell all this week. That's not a joke.
Where shall we
I mean,
start, ladies? You have any questions for Emily?
I suppose I do. Like, what made you become? Like, no. I feel like the real question is like, how long is the transition between eating meat and becoming completely
That's a great
vegan?
question. I think it's something that with meat, you have to cut out all the meat and then you slowly move with dairy. Because dairy, like cheese, I loved cheese.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I would order a bean and cheese burrito, and my mom would say she really wants just cheese with a side of beans, like in a tortilla. So unhealthy. But I never really thought about food that way. Like in the nutrition I was getting from each meal
Are
and
you
like
thinking
the
about how
quality
good
of
a
it.
bean and cheese
I'm
burrito
just thinking
sounds?
about cheese.
Right?
Like,
Cheese is great.
honestly, I'm thinking about cheese, and I'm looking at Emily's skin.
Wait,
and
Brian,
I'm
are
like,
you taking over? Hold on a second. Are you taking over? Because we've been wanting to switch back and forth to see a little bit of Emily, but
We've been dying to, Brian, but also
we've been really hogging
I've
these.
also been sort of nervous because I was going to ask you to pay me meter as well. Can you do all these things
can
at
do all
once
the things.
somehow? It'd be
but like the
lovely.
angle, the camera angle with all three of us, I don't like.
Kimberly. You
It's
guys make me
hideous.
want to talk like that.
Kimberly,
What is
yeah,
it?
no, it's
Kimberly.
yes.
It's
infectious, isn't
it
it?
is infectious.
I'm so excited. So excited she likes it.
I love these fucking mangoes in this shit.
I know, I can tell. They're your
There's
jam.
little chunks of mango in here,
look-
and I'm just like
They look real cute at the bottom.
living for them.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, there she
there she
is.
is.
Look how cute she looks.
No, but yeah, my exact thought. This is the perfect time to have a camera on Emily for a moment because I'm thinking of like cheese and being like, oh, is that what it would take to make my skin look more like Emily's skin?
that's
To
so
Emily's
just
skin is.
fucking not eat cheese. Like,
Was your skin worse
was
before
your
you were
skin-
vegan?
Yeah, like I feel like it probably just makes you so much healthier all around. Where you're like, oh,
I mean, this
I-
bitch
I'm
looks
a new
porcelain.
person
Look at her
now.
on camera.
Uh,
Brian, we can hear you.
we can hear you.
If he was like talking to himself about Emily. He didn't know we could hear him? No, you didn't! Brian was talking about Emily and we heard him! That is so fucking funny. And it's awkward because the camera's just left on you now. So, Emily, is there anything you'd like to say to our followers?
I'll wait to answer her question until she comes back.
Totally.
But, I'm really excited to be here.
That's really cool.
This is a great podcast, and I love listening to you guys. You guys are so entertaining and you're fun. It makes me want to live in New York so I can be here, right here in this little desk.
Perfect. And you are.
Hi.
That was awkward for Brian.
I know.
Did you hear him? He was whispering she's always been perfect, I think, right?
I could swear that was going to be the next word. I swear on my life that was going to be the next word.
That's what we all assumed, right? Emily, did you not assume that?
I could barely hear it.
Oh, we heard it perfectly. Did you hear it?
He said she was always perfect.
Yeah.
That's so
And then he realized the mic was on. Is that what happened? Yes. I love it. Oh my God. That's such a funny, creepy thing for him to whisper by himself in the studio. She's always been perfect. How do you know? You met her 2 hours ago.
Oh my God. I love him. That's hilarious.
Speaking of perfect.
Also, we've just left the camera on Emily.
I noticed that.
Which is great.
Cool.
Brian was like, she's the show now.
She is my one. God. Jesus.
Well, I would say my skin was a lot more dry. Like, I noticed different things about my health, like when it came to like after I would shower, the way that my skin on my hands would crack, or like, your body, you just get like acne, or like you get acne on your chest, or like sometimes on your stomach. Like, those are all signs of different things going on in different parts of your body. So if it's like on your cheeks, or if it's on your back, like different areas in your body are being affected by your diet. And so I learned about different areas and like how your acne was affected. And I kind of was able to change my diet to include more calcium and more turmeric and more things that you don't think about, that you don't just find naturally occurring in processed food.
It sounds like so much effort.
It's a lot of effort, but so is like living unhealthy. That's more effort.
Yeah,
like
having to like take care of yourself
dying.
after you're sick is
Yeah.
way more effort than just
Not being sick
Yeah.
ever. I can't remember the last time I was sick, really. I'm very healthy.
I feel sick right now.
just a Diet Coke and just smoking a Juul.
I don't feel so well right now. Why? I'm just holding this spare Juul pod for when my Juul pod runs out. What's wrong with that?
I would say cutting out meat is definitely like a step that has to be all in its own cold turkey. And then moving on to like dairy products and other things like that. Like ice cream and like supplements that you find in place of like dairy ice cream, you can do almond milk or coconut milk or things like that still taste great and very similar. But there are things that can't really be replaced that you kind of have to let go of.
Well, it's interesting. I was able to do it for like 2 years. I stopped eating meat for 2 years. And I think like I was just like happy. Like I think you have to be like caring about yourself first to do it. Like I was like happier then. And then I went back to eating meat one day because it was Thanksgiving. And I was like, oh, the turkey looks so good. And then I ate meat and then I was just like back in the meat lifestyle again.
Yeah.
And then like now I feel like so far away from ever being able to do something as drastic as even just cutting meat out.
I think there are a lot of goals that you might have that you want to achieve, and you look at them like they're so far-fetched. Like what I'm doing right now and the job that I've like just started doing, which I can kind of talk about like a little bit of what I've come to New York to do, which I just got this job working with Val Kilmer, which is a really cool opportunity, especially as like a young actress, to kind of be mentored by somebody like that.
Yeah.
I 3 or 4 years ago never would have expected that. I would have looked at that kind of goal like, no way. There's just no way. But then you kind of slowly work yourself up like on a scale of your lifestyle, like your teriyaki sauce. There's a level of expectation that you kind of like hold yourself to when it comes to everything. But it seems hard in the beginning.
So you're saying is you should do that with food.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to set a goal for yourself, even if it's just to eat less of something or to incorporate more of something your diet might be lacking.
Water, probably.
Just one goal at a time, and then slowly it'll just be like, oh, that's just how I live. That's a standard I have for myself, because standards you don't really let go of.
I want to stop drinking soda.
Today I had coffee,
it's a great idea.
Yoo-hoo, and Diet Coke. Today. It's true.
That sounds like someone's last poem.
Coffee.
Today I had coffee, Yoo-hoo, and Diet Coke. Today. And she dies.
It's a great poem.
Do people really snap? Like at poetry
Mhm.
readings?
They do.
Yeah, it's the worst.
I went to one when I was in high school. I was just fucking like had just started smoking weed and hanging out like right over here on St. Mark's with my friends and like fucking just like jerk off kids who were like, let's go to a slam poetry reading. And I remember just sitting in that room and being so not ready for like slam poetry, like just so uncomfortable and just being like, do you know like when you're in an audience and you're like, I shouldn't be here.
I shouldn't be
Sitting there
here.
being
I
like,
shouldn't be here.
is this when I
Did I tell you that was a story ever?
is this when I snap?
I don't think so.
One time I was doing mushrooms with some friends. We were hiking up this mountain. And we hiked up ahead of my friend and hiking down the mountain. There's like nobody else. We're in like in LA and like this park. It's really quiet, Franklin Canyon. And this little old lady, she looked like the old lady from Beauty and the Beast, the rose, the homeless one. You know what I'm talking about? That comes knocking on the door and gives the rose.
Yeah.
And she's like, ew. And the guy's like, ew. She looked like that. She's coming down the mountain with a shawl. And we were like, this looks creepy because we're on mushrooms. And she comes down the mountain, completely ignores us. And then our friends behind us were like, wait up. After she passes them, they're like, did that lady say anything to you? And we were like, no, she just walked past us. And he was like, that was weird. And I was like, why? He's like, because she walked past us and she looked at me and she said, you shouldn't be here. And then kept walking. That's what she did to him. Yes.
What? No.
Yeah. And and then we were all on mushrooms. We're like, should we turn around? And he was like, I don't know. Like maybe.
Was she real?
Yeah. That's what we were wondering. She walked right past. She didn't say anything to us. And then they were like freaked out. Like these two dudes. They're like, she looked at us and said, you shouldn't be here.
But my question is, were you guys all together and like all of you should have seen her turn and say that? Or like
no, like
No.
we were like just far enough ahead where we wouldn't hear it.
okay.
Like we were here, like from here to the end of the other studio, ahead of them.
Okay. Still pretty creepy.
Yeah, and she just whispered it to him, like you shouldn't be here, and then just walked away.
Was it an area where you sincerely shouldn't have been?
She didn't say it to us.
Yeah, but like
No, we weren't trespassing or anything.
like
no.
you it was just like
it was like not. It was a public park. Yeah,
burial grounds.
very weird, right?
Very strange.
So when you said that, and you're like,
Creepy.
and then I was like, I shouldn't be here, and I was like, you shouldn't be here, and I said it, and I realized nobody knew that story.
I understood.
And I just sounded
creepy.
creepy. But we started laughing about it like later on in the trip, and we kept being like, you shouldn't be here. Like I would run ahead of them, and I would pop out and go, you shouldn't be here. We like made it funny,
So spooky.
but it's really scary.
Oh no.
There's been times like where I've made bad judgment calls on mushrooms. Like me and my friend, we did mushrooms and like we went like down like what we thought was a cool spooky looking forest. And we're like deep in these woods. And then like climbing out, I realized it took us like 25 minutes to get out of there. It was like so deep in the woods. It was like gross. There was like spiders and like cobwebs. And then we saw there was like a tent set up like deep into the darkest part of the woods. Like someone had been living in there.
Oh no.
And it was like we were just like frolicking like two cute girls in these dark woods, like ha on drugs, like fucking. And then when we crawled out and we got into the sunlight, and I looked back down, I was like, that looks like where you would go find It the Clown. Like that's where he would be standing. I was like, what were we doing in there? Like something like hit me like when we got out that I was like, we shouldn't have been in there.
Like that, yeah, like that was a bad spot.
Yeah.
I feel like you had that energy the day that we were in Central Park, where you were like, you might have had that experience on your mind that day where you
I
were
told
like,
her that story today.
yeah, where you were like, I don't think we should be tripping right now. And then the mushrooms were just like, well, that's fine because we're not going to work.
We're just
Yeah.
going to take a pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I swear to God, I know this sounds fucking retarded, guys, but I swear I believe that like mushrooms in particular kind of know when you're ready for them or not, and they will hit you not as hard if you're like, I don't know. I feel like we were in a weird scenario. A guy was following us that day, and we took a bunch of mushrooms that should have worked, and for no reason they didn't.
Yeah, until we got home.
Like, yeah, it was
When I got home, I started
very
feeling it.
strange.
And remember, your eyes got really big?
Yeah.
Like our pupil, I remember like the second we hit home, like I looked at her eyes, I was like, your pupils are huge. And then like 2 seconds later, I was like, oh, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, Kim played Fortnite and I narrated for like 2 hours.
Yeah. It was really fun.
that was pretty fun.
That does sound like a blast.
But so it's the most fucking disappointing thing ever when you're like, let's fucking trip, and then you like work yourself up to it and you drop mushrooms and then you wait and you fucking wait.
You set up an experience for yourself.
Yeah. And
You're
then
like prepared for the adventure.
and you're like, do you
You're
feel
like, well, I guess it's not happening.
and sometimes you're like trying to convince yourself. All day we're just trying to convince ourselves that we felt it a little bit. We're like, I think I feel it. I think I like, no, bitch, when you feel it, you're not going to be thinking about you're going to know.
Oh, this is it. All right. So before we move on, I want to take a second to give a shout out to our sponsors, Smoked Honey. Smoked Honey is a vape cartridge distillate company based in San Diego, California. They're the dopest. We love them. We're obsessed with them. Smoked Honey's the shit. They have these vape pens. What's fun is that the same distillate that's in the vape pen is the same one they put in the dab darts. Like, so you know exactly what you're smoking out of this pen because you can actually see the product in other products. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I really like that.
The dab darts themselves are edible and like super clean, so it's nice to know that that's exactly what's in your cartridge, exactly what you're vaping, something that you could literally eat and your body could process without a problem. Like,
yeah, and this
fucking
distillate
awesome.
is fucking. I don't want to sound like a black guy looking at a white chick, but this distillate is thick. Like, it's fucking thick. Like, if you know, it's a good test to do when you have vape pens is if you turn it over, how quickly that bubble moves up and down. If it moves quickly, the liquid's too thin. This one, the bubble moves like a nice slow pace, like a thick honey, which is why it's called smoked honey. It's fucking the best. They fucking take out all the terpenes. They clean them out. They add their own terpenes. This shit's like, this is fucking the most it's like a homemade meal version of a vape pen. It's a home cooked meal version of a vape pen.
that's exactly what it is.
It's like your mama made it.
Your mama made it. You literally, guys, you won't run into me without Smoked Honey on me.
It's
I
so
am
true.
passionate about this shit.
So if you want your own and you're over the age of 21 and you live in California, hit up smokedhoneyca.com or go to Instagram at smokedhoney and they have their website on there. Hit them up on there and get yourself some shit.
Check them out.
Check them out. All right. Let's keep it going. Well, me and Emily have had a couple of fun trips. Is that okay to talk about?
That's fine.
Since we're not live, we can cut it out. But we've had a trip with someone else who was not ready for the mushroom trip.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we had a very intense mushroom trip.
An
with
allergic reaction,
someone. Seizure.
crazy situation.
No way.
Yeah, like
nothing you
like
want to
thought
see.
our friend was gonna die.
And
yeah.
you guys were tripping too at the time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we couldn't
little-
logically solve any problems. It was like 2
And
or
we
3
couldn't
hours.
also call
We
the
thought it
police
was
because we were on mushrooms.
10 minutes.
At what point, hold on, this is crazy interesting because that's like the worst case scenario. Every time you fucking trip, you're like, well, you know, as long as we're all safe, we'll probably be fine, even if I'm going through something in my head. Like,
Yeah.
when something's happening in the real world, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Like when my friend had the seizure, I remember I was tripping so hard at that moment. And like Emily was like tripping so hard too. And like we're like tripping so hard in different ways. Like Emily's like, I need my shoes. I cannot walk barefoot. And like we're all like losing our minds, like not for
Were you guys
real.
peaking for a while already?
Oh, yeah.
And the third person too was also peaking and experiencing the trip and being joyful. They liked it.
No.
Or no?
In the very beginning,
beginning,
And then
yes.
suddenly, because we were at this really rocky beach,
Mm-hmm.
and it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful beach I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. But once you get out to the waters, it's not very safe because you don't really see the sharp edges that are surrounding you.
Yeah.
So she goes out into the water and we're tripping.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, what? Like she's just floating and you can just see another rock like next to her. It's just awful. And then she's like, no, I'm sick. I don't know what to do. And it was like 2 or 3 hours had gone by that felt like 20 minutes.
Yeah. But she got very, very sick. Like she was
Vomiting and stuff?
no,
Or?
the other sick.
Like
from the
other
bottom.
end.
Yeah.
She was
vomiting-
shitting herself on the beach.
She was vomiting her out of her ass.
And we weren't close to a bathroom. It wasn't like
So
She was ass puking on the beach.
She was ass puking on the beach. She was ass puking on the beach. Like, it was like an issue. Like, the water was clear, so like,
so you could see it all. It was really
and
just...
then every time she went in to go to the water, it was like Earth was going against her. Like, the waves would get suddenly huge and start pushing her against the rocks when she was trying to go in the water, and like there was people on the sand, and we're like tripping under. So she's like holding it in. You can see like the pain from her, like trying to like her, like she's like shaking trying to hold it, like, you know, when you really need to shit, like,
Yeah.
and you're like, this
just
is
so embarrassed.
yes, and just so embarrassed. And then we're tripping on drugs, so we're like holding up like.
And I also know the feeling of fucking needing to shit immediately because I just took a bunch of mushrooms and they just wiped all of my intestines clean.
Yes.
Like, that's a serious shit
So
right there.
there's
That's a
these
liquid shit right there. I'm not going to lie to you.
So there's these caves at the beach, and like we're like holding up this sheet. I have this genius idea. I'm like, let's let her shit in the cave. So it's like I'm holding.
Very smart, Kimberly. Good thing you were there.
Right, but it's a massive gaping hole.
And so we're only holding up a sheet to half of it and calling more attention. You can see her shitting in the corner, and the smell is coming out of the cave and onto the beach. So everybody's like, "What's that smell?" And we're like, "It's fine. No one can see you. We're all on drugs." Then she's like, "Shit! Like there's shit everywhere at this point. Like she cannot stop shitting. Like it's dripping out of the cage. It's like ruining the beach for everyone. Like at one point, me and Emily are trying to figure out how to get her rinsed off because she's like, this poor girl is.
She's got shit on her legs. Like,
everywhere.
She's like, her eyes. She has the most beautiful blue eyes.
Their sweater.
They're like your sweater,
They're
right?
just like your sweater.
And I would
Piercing
look.
blue.
I would run down to the ocean to fill up a water bottle with water so I could rinse her. And I'd look back in the cave, and she would be like a gargoyle huddled, and it would just be tears and piercing blue eyes in a dark cave. She looked like a night walker in a fucking cave. I swear to God, it was the saddest thing. I never felt more empathy for another human until I saw those little blue eyes in the back of that cave.
Meanwhile, Kim's trying to come and clean her with this amount of water
Each time.
like an inch,
And it's freezing
it won't
water.
fill
And
into
she's
the water
shaking
bottle.
every time I pour on her. She's like, and there's just poop everywhere. It's like getting on my shoe.
So bad. But then I'm tripping, like I can see so many colors, and I look at Kim, and her eyelashes are blue. And
in the middle
her
of all
skin's,
of
like,
this,
glistening
Emily's in my
gold
face
and
going, "You're
purple.
so
oh my God, you're so
beautiful,
beautiful.
Kim.
Like I can't look
Your
at you." And she's like,
eyelashes
"It is not the time." I'm like,
"It's
"My
not the
body's
time
telling
to call
me
me
it's the time."
beautiful." And she's like, "But your skin, it's glowing.
like
I can see your
glowing. It
aura."
was
And I'm like, "Our friend
crazy.
is dying." It was fucking crazy.
hold on. I need more information here.
Is this a fucked up story to tell?
I don't know.
You didn't say her
we
name.
not-
You didn't
we
say her
we
name
didn't
at
say
all.
anybody's
No.
name. This is also just a story that happened, but like
No.
if they want to vocalize that it was them, that's
this
their
kind of
call.
stuff happens on
Yeah,
drugs,
it's
first of all.
anonymous.
Yeah,
I
of
feel like
course.
it could happen to anybody who decides to take mushrooms out in public. Like, you know, you're fucking stepping into that. You're taking that fucking risk.
So she's shitting.
Okay.
I take her by the arm. I try to get her out of the cave. At this point, Emily comes back into the cave to report, and the cave's like our hiding spot from
report.
humans. Because now we're in this shitty cave hiding from the people because we're so embarrassed. So now we'd just rather be in the shit cave than out with the people because like we have some of her shit probably on us, and like she's just still shitting, and like Emily
Like,
comes
you
back.
two are dirty with her now,
Yes.
basically.
And then
Like Kim went from holding the sheet to like protect her by like blocking her to straight up covering her body
with the sheet
and
just-
the shit
because she was just naked with shit all over her. So I was like, let's just cover you and the shit. So now there's a sheet with shit and my friend in it, and it's not good. And she comes out because we're like, let's rinse you off in the water. And when she comes out, she falls to the ground and literally seizes. I don't think you even saw that
I didn't
part.
get to see that part,
And it
I
was
had
like
no idea
3
what was going
seconds. She
on.
hit her knees and she started like shaking, and then her lips turned blue. Do you remember her lips being blue?
You witnessed all of that. I didn't.
And then
know.
her lips turned really blue. So I was like tapping her face, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And so I went and got her water, and we were drinking water, and that's when I called her boyfriend. I was like, "Hey, something happened. You need to come, or maybe I should call an ambulance." Like I was asking her, like, "Do you want me to call an ambulance?" She was like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. I think I just had a seizure. I'm okay though." She was like really.
Was she like prone to seizures?
No, she's never had a
No,
seizure.
never
before.
had one before.
But the moment that happened, both of us went into survival mode. Like her and Emily was still like, I need my flip-flops. The universe is so beautiful. She was
Right, because I had no idea that there was a seizure. Nobody's communicating. I'm like, what's
Emily's
going on?
like
She's like, our
frolicking
friend
with
is
a
sick.
silk thing in the air, and she's like bleeping
I'm
and
like a
doing
butterfly.
ballet. Yeah, and she's like, it was crazy, and it was like also the most beautiful trip.
Oh,
During this, it's like we're in the most beautiful place. I'm telling you, the ocean is clear, and a pod of dolphins swims right in front of us in the clear ocean, and they're like jumping and playing, and then a seal pops up in the ocean too, and it's like so beautiful, and we're like crying but also trying to save our friend.
Your friend's just shaking.
It was
the weirdest mix of emotions. Like,
it was fucked up. And then at one point, this is before all of this happened. Before all of this happened, at one point, Emily and my other friend were standing, and my other friend's like, I need to go use the restroom right now. Like, I'm sick. Like, I can't go in the cave anymore. I need to go find a restroom. And it was like probably a 10-minute walk away.
I don't want to go back to the shit cave.
so I was like, okay, I'll go with you. And Emily's like, well, I need to go back and get my flip-flops first. I can't leave my flip-flops.
well,
and that was like,
damn flip-flops.
that was the one time I mentioned the flip-flops, but that is like the main focal point of her memory. But I could not walk on the rocky surface thinking like on mushrooms that my feet would get cut. It was
Right.
just a weird feeling. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I need
so
shoes.
and her shoes were about 10 minutes away, so we were in the middle of everything, and they were both like, well, I'm gonna go get my thing, and then they left me there.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I hate you guys. You're making me choose.
She was so pissed.
I was so angry.
She's like, I can't babysit everyone.
Yeah, that's what I
We
said.
were like, what? She like wants to be a part of each of like the crew. Like everybody needs to be together. She's like becoming a mom, and at this point she's like an angry mom. She's like trying to discipline me as we're tripping.
Oh shit.
no.
Okay, so then we call her boyfriend, and then after we called her boyfriend, it was like after she seized and we called her boyfriend, she got into this mode where I was like, hey, are you okay? And her answers were always like, I'm okay. Let's just get me upstairs and get some water with me.
But-
And it was like very like, I'm
Okay.
doing this. I'm alive. We're okay for now.
I've been in that fucking position before where I'm like, okay, I'm on fucking heavy drugs and I need to make everybody else feel like I'm okay. But in order to do that, my only option is to really not talk a lot, breathe really deeply, focus
Yes.
on myself.
And,
So it's
and
like,
I'd be like, okay,
yeah.
would you like to head up to the stairs to go meet your boyfriend up there? And she'd be like, let's start going. Can you grab my shoes? It was like just shit covered shoes. I was like, we're leaving everything in the cave. It was really bad.
Oh no.
It's so funny because we got to the beach talking about how we would never litter or leave anything on the beach, and we leave this
Shit
sheet.
Human feces.
We couldn't pull it out of we couldn't pull it out of the cave. It was
liquid human feces.
No way.
straight into the
That
ocean.
went straight- yeah.
Size queen sheet. Like the thought of it makes me sick. But there was nothing we could
It's
do.
out there somewhere, guys.
Also, that same beach, one time me and Lewis went, this is so funny. It's such a beautiful beach. We were sitting on top of a rock. He was giving me a massage. We were smoking a blunt. There was nobody there. It was like sunset. It was the most beautiful thing. And then we hear, I swear to God, this is a true story. This huge wave comes in, and inside this wave is this homeless man who crashes onto the beach. I swear to God, he came from the wave. He was not, because we were in a private section. Like, he came from the ocean, and he was like out of breath. Like, he came from out of the sea. He was like, oh, and like 30 cans of beer are falling out of his backpack and washing back in and coming back out. He crawls up.
He had his backpack in the ocean.
He's like,
Yes.
Wilson.
Yeah, it's like
Castaway.
unzipped. There's like paper. There's like mail coming out. He's like he just came out of the ocean, and he crawls up to the thing, and he's like, and I went, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "I'm fine," like that. It was just like the most ugly thing to come out of a beautiful beach. And there was no explanation. He just laid there.
yeah, that beach is fucked up.
That's pretty fucking weird.
It's the most beautiful beach you've ever seen, though.
That's crazy.
It's pretty funny if you were wondering about, the people that may have been witnessing us, because we're at a beach.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a popular beach, and it's close to Thanksgiving. It's literally the day before Thanksgiving. And there's a few couples taking wedding photos on this gorgeous beach. another couple just trying to have like a good date. And I look over and everyone's staring at us, and I crawl back into the cave.
The poop cave.
The poop cave. I'm like, guys. And then you can hear the families, like, we're echoing. The reverberation of this cave is just taking everything out. There's shit everywhere. And I can hear this boyfriend talking to his girlfriend. His girlfriend's like, can you do something about that? They're doing all this. And he's like, I don't know what you want me to do. They're on drugs.
It was really bad. We were seizing
so
and just
bad.
shitting everywhere on this beautiful
We
beach.
were shit.
I wish, Brian, can you pull up a picture on there? Can you pull up a picture of Malibu Beach in,
El Matador.
El Matador Beach in Malibu? And look up some images of this beach we tainted.
Oh, it's fucking gorgeous.
It's the most beautiful beach you'll ever see.
I also, that feeling when you're fucking out there in public on drugs and like you start the day off like, listen, nobody will really notice. We'll fucking keep it low key or whatever.
That's how we started. We're like, we'll be good girls.
We're good.
Yeah, and then like you get to a point where there's just no turning back, and you're like everybody you look at just knows in your mind at least. You're like every single person who's looking at me fucking knows now.
Yeah, it was fucked up. It was really fucked up. Did you find anything? Yeah. When you see it, you're gonna see that this beach did not deserve.
I love the idea.
Can you imagine her swimming out in those rocky areas?
The water was so. Yeah, click some other ones. These
That's
are all not
beautiful.
doing it justice either.
No, they're not.
Like that is does
Look
it
at
more
those
justice.
buns.
I was really
That's
just
more like it.
Yeah,
Like,
that is more like
hold
it.
on, like
Oh, the third one in.
this one. Oh yeah, yes.
That is so beautiful. That was Kim's landing. That was her
this.
rock.
That shit, like it looks like you're in New Zealand or something.
God damn.
It's gorgeous.
And so just I'm picturing a cave in this like mountainside.
Can you Google El Matador Cave? Let's see if we can find the shit cave.
El Matador Cave. Oh my God.
If we can find the specific shit cave, what if we see us? What if someone took a picture for Google reviews and we're all on drugs?
Google Earth just has you guys running around and your friends seizing.
Is there any of the caves?
That is so fucked up.
Oh, that's what it
just
looked
like that.
It was
that
like
was our view. That was our view, and we kept running in and out
tripping
of
balls
that.
in that cave.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh shit.
So awful.
That is crazy.
Wow, what a memory.
Oh my God. And you got her boyfriend came and picked her up. Everything was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, once we got to the top of the mountain,
Things started getting better. She
Everything
stopped
was
shitting.
fine.
She started enjoying the last little bit of her trip. Like, but at that point, like,
It was
we had
over.
all had so
It was
much.
tainted already.
Yeah,
I'm
the
sure.
emotional roller coaster we went on. Truly tripping and feeling every emotion was.
and then we got
so
into her
exhausting.
boyfriend's car, and like we all smelled like poop. Like, and remember how the shower we took at her house, and we changed clothes, and I felt so clean. Like after that
Yeah.
shower,
Yeah.
I'd never felt cleaner than.
You guys came home with your friend's shit all over.
Oh yeah, and not only that, but we're like, you know what? We want to smoke a joint. Let's just go walk through the streets in our bathing suits in LA.
We made really bad decisions.
We
that
made really
day.
bad decisions that day.
Yeah, like we like when we were leaving the beach right before we were about to go up the stairs, I jumped in the ocean to rinse off, and Emilee's like, "What are you doing? We have to go." And I was like, "I have shit on me." And then people looked at us again. Like it was just never
It
peaceful.
and we haven't been back since.
That's true. We have to go fix it because we've had fun there.
Yeah, fix that beach energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a great beach.
Wow. That is a crazy fucking story.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I remember the moment she had a seizure on the ground. I remember thinking, what if there was something wrong with the mushrooms and we're all about to seize, and then high tide's going to come and pull our bodies out?
That is one of the scariest things.
That's pretty fucked
And we're
up.
just
Did
all-
you
can you
express
imagine
that to
not
Emily?
vocalize?
Like,
No.
I kept it in.
No.
that's fucked up.
It's fucked up, right?
Yeah, for sure. Holy shit.
I know.
I had a friend who took mushrooms with like a guy who she was seeing at the time, and he fucking fell and hit his head on like he like fell and like hit his head real hard and had like a head wound that she and her other friend had to then like deal with over the course of the night. Like anything like that is so fucked up. Like
Yeah.
Because you don't know how to handle it properly to like get taken care of, and then they're like, well, what's going on here? Why are you guys acting so weird?
And you
check their
think
blood.
you're communicating well, but you're not.
No.
And like, if,
Like me and Emily, in a panic mode, we can't communicate.
if something
We're like in
fucking
different
happened,
worlds.
in theory, if something happened to your friend and she like died, you guys would be would probably be like in serious trouble in terms of like, oh,
We were
it was
doing drugs.
negligent. Like you were doing drugs, you were there with her, you saw her having a seizure, you saw that her lips turned blue, you didn't call 911.
Oh my God.
Like,
whoa.
no, I'm just saying it's like
No, you're right. You're
It's
totally
crazy.
right. But like, we almost killed her.
We really
Oh my God, I want to text her and tell her I love her. I'm so glad that you're alive.
But no, it's not even like
That's
that.
crazy.
It's just like, it's so like fucked up, the idea, because every time you trip, you're like, well, nothing like that's gonna happen. It's fine. Like it's fine. I've done it before. It'll be fine. But like
Yeah.
any little thing becomes so fucking serious because it's against the law to do drugs that like immediately when things go wrong and you have to find like an authority figure of some kind, you're fucked. Like
yeah.
that's like the scariest thing about it to
There
me.
should
is
be
that,
like an anonymous 911.
yeah, I can't have like, that's why I think it's fucked up to have like laws against this, like such harsh laws against this stuff, because now like I choose to use it for my own, you know,
Free
for what-
will.
but yeah, I'm just making the decision for in my own life to use it, and now I'm losing the like privilege of having an authority figure who's able to come and help me if I'm in trouble. That's like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's why I trip at home.
Mm-hmm.
Trip in my little house.
But then you think, you know, like another vice, alcohol, which will kill people. Like you will die from drinking too much, and that's legal.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and
and
if you're
that's so
fucked up
harmful
and
for
you
your
call the
body
police
already.
and say like, "Hey, my friend is, we all drank too much and my friend is throwing up," nobody's in trouble. They fucking
Right.
they tell you,
They
"Hey,
pump
you
your
did the
stomach.
right thing." Yeah, you thought really quickly. Good for you. Like that's fucked up. That's crazy.
It's like a different type of drug. Alcohol. It really is such weird poison. The liquid that we consume like that,
And it makes you
just let
sick all the next
I
day.
feel
into
much
your blood.
worse the day after a night of drinking than I
Oh,
do
yeah.
after taking 2 tabs of acid. Straight up.
Yeah.
Like the next day after a couple drinks is way worse.
Yeah.
It's true. You really feel the harmful effects on your body. Your head aches, your stomach hurts. You're like,
Even while you're drunk, like you might be happy, but your body is like, you're like, ugh, I gotta get
I'm
my body to this
poisoned.
next spot now. Like, yeah.
You like can't move that well and
Right?
shit.
Yeah.
it really does. It just impairs your judgment. So it's like, okay, I don't really want to make like a good judgment call, so I'm gonna drink. So it's like you're loose, so you don't like think about things too much.
It lets you shift the blame.
Yeah, it does.
That's
And
what
it's
it
like,
does.
oh, I'm doing this only because I'm drunk.
Yeah.
It's like giving yourself a
It's
reason
like
to be yourself.
sometimes you want to go out and dance, but you're like too shy to. So you're like, I'll have a few drinks, then I'll go out and dance. It like really like makes you like really does make you braver in a way.
I guess also if you're single, there's people who are like, I can't get out and talk to people unless I'm drinking, which I get. But
so you're not
also, like,
overthinking it.
I don't know. I've always had that with weed.
But also
though.
that's how rape starts.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like for pot smokers, you have a similar thing because like 9 out of the 10 friendships I have right now have started over smoking a joint with somebody and being like, oh, you smoke weed, I smoke weed, let's go outside and smoke some weed, and then
Yeah.
within a couple months, like now we're friends.
Totally.
So the like losing alcohol wouldn't necessarily mean losing the social factor of like the impairment. You could find that in other things.
Yeah.
So if you fucking do drugs with somebody, you're friends for life unless something goes terribly wrong, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I went to Exotica over the weekend.
How was that?
It was weird, man.
It was weird.
It
It's a
was
porn convention.
Weird. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I don't know what sparked that in my mind.
Why was it weird?
So it was like a giant space that was just filled with like, you know, like tables, like, you know, you go over and see the displays and whatever, and just like naked bitches.
That's
It
crazy.
was just all over the place. It was fucking
Were
wild.
they butt naked?
Not butt naked, but like there were like bikini tops that were just like nipple coverage and stuff like that. There was one girl who had like nipple piercings that like it was like a cap that covered your nipple and then you
Yeah.
plug the piercing through.
Lewis was gonna go, and he was like, "I have to go for work." And I was like,
Your
"I don't
face
really
right now.
believe that."
Did he make it out there?
No. I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
okay, I have to go to fucking some big dick convention too for broad topics.
Can we do that?
Yes, now we can.
Can we please do that?
That's
Just
where we're
because
at.
of his desire. He
Yeah.
didn't even go.
He shouldn't have desired.
Now we can.
He shouldn't have misdesired.
I didn't know they were having a peony convention.
Oh my God, I gotta show you this Instagram of this couple I found that is me and Lewis. I was like, I've never sat and looked at someone's Instagram for over an hour and laughed at like multiple videos. Over an hour, like scrolling, clicking every video and being like, this one's good too. Like, how?
Are they like they're putting it out as content, or is it
They're
just
putting
them,
out as
their
content now.
lives?
You
Okay.
kind of can tell that it's definitely based off the truth.
Okay.
Because the acting's too good that it's based off like some real feelings, but they're putting on a show.
Okay,
That
that's
makes
fun.
sense.
Yeah, they do what me and Lewis do when we're like, I bet you want to fuck that hot guy next to us. We're like, it's from the heart, but we're fucking around. You know what I'm saying? But we're like, yeah, but I bet you really do, huh? Like, crazy shit.
Yeah, so you guys are very good at making everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah. Basically, I found the Instagram version of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think that we should wrap up
Sure thing. We could do that.
because I gotta pee really bad.
Oh, my bitch always got to pee.
I know.
I'm going to start draining this whore before we start episodes.
I
Little
did.
baby bladder.
Yeah, I did.
She had all those little mango gels.
I had the mango gels. They fucked my day
and the
up.
teriyaki sauce.
And the teriyaki.
Oh.
teriyaki
My
sauce
light
is like
black sauce.
80%
Guys,
of the liquid.
That teriyaki sauce came and Kim just fucking opened up her throat for it.
Oh my God! Real quick, should we talk about stone science when
We
I
should.
deep throated the gravity bong?
We should. I mean, we
Brian, the producer from the back, you didn't hear him this time, but he just mouthed, "That was crazy."
you didn't hear him this time.
But I saw it. It was the same horny face he had 10 seconds ago. The way I deep throated this bottle by accident.
For something completely different.
The way I deep throated that bottle, dude.
I mean, okay, so we did a gravity bong for Stone Science. First of all, the shoot was so much fun. I cannot wait for it to release and for everybody to see it.
I know.
But yeah, we did a gravity bong episode. And I purchased a 2-liter bottle instead of a 1-liter bottle.
Yeah,
without,
those big like Shasta RC Cola
without
ones.
realizing that the bottle cap is really like the cap even is
It's
twice
much
the
bigger.
size. It's much bigger. So when Kim leaned down to take the first hit of this gravity bong, I really saw a fucking the moment of truth in her eyes where she was like, she was so sincerely just like, I'm not sure what I should do. Do my lips go on the inside or the outside?
The answer was the inside, and I did not choose the right answer.
She chose wrong.
It was really graphic. And I didn't realize till I already had my mouth over it.
She really reluctantly and like timidly wrapped her lips around the outside of this thing.
I
like
even
her first
grabbed it.
blowjob.
I grabbed it like this. So I was
But
like
really
this.
looked up at everybody like, is this how you do it?
So
like,
she's
it was-
making
and
eye
then I looked
contact
at camera
as
in the
her
eye,
lips
and I was
are
like,
on the rim.
and I pushed down, and the smoke went in my mouth, and everyone's like, I heard my boyfriend be like, "What a whore!" like behind me, and then like the camera crew was shocked, and I didn't realize I was doing anything wrong until like I looked at everyone's faces.
it was
like watching your parents die.
it was
That's what
bad.
their faces look like.
It was bad. I mean, it was like I was stunned.
Wow.
I got to see what Kim looks like when she's sucking dick.
Well, that's our episode. You guys, thank you so much for listening. You guys, Emily, thank you for coming on the show and hanging out.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anytime.
Do you want to throw out
Thanks,
your
guys.
Instagram or anything?
Yeah, you can follow me at Emilee M. Smith. It's pretty basic white girl
I thought you were
name.
just saying it's pretty. I was like,
It's a white
okay.
girl name.
Pretty much just a standard old name.
Standard old name.
Standard old name, Emily M. Smith.
Emilee M. Smith. That's me.
Catch me on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, Instagram at Kim Congdon. Check out my other podcast, Subway Creatures. Look out for Stone Science Season 2 coming out on YouTube and gasdigitalnetwork.com. And as I always say, subscribe, rate, review this podcast. We're available everywhere. There's podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube. So please like, share, review. We love the reviews. Keep them coming. Thank you. Alex?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Alex Scar, and check out all of my shows on Gas Digital Network, High Society Radio, Irish Goodbye Podcast, In God Free We Trust, and the Lisa Ann Experience.
Wow. All right, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.